Okay, so this is my long-awaited tutorial on how I do my eyebrows. Anyways, one thing about me, so I am not naked, but I am just in my bra because one thing's for sure, two things for certain is I get hot as fuck when I'm doing my makeup. So it's very important. I got a fan running in the background and shit. It's very important that, you know, I keep naked to the fullest extent so that I can, you know what I'm saying? Go in with my fan. I had to get everything, and it was low-key a hassle. So what you will need is the e.l.f. brow. Looks like that on the inside. I have the soap brow too, but I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea. It's less of an irritant to your eyebrows though, if you want more of a laminated look or like a soap brow look. Of course, I don't really care for a soap brow look. I feel like when we're talking about a soap brow, it's like all of these hairs, they don't really matter because they're going to be slicked up anyways. But when I do my eyebrows, I always slick my hairs down a little bit, like kind of in the middle. A little bit of a soap brow, a little bit of a more tamed. I think I'm going to go for a little bit of a thinner look today. I like thick eyebrows sometimes, but not really. You will also need Tame and Frame brow pomade. Very important to darken the eyebrow. Our last utensils will be the NYX eyebrow pencil. This is what I've been using for like the last 6 years. I don't know, it's my favorite. And then a good flathead brush. I wish I could tell you where I got this brush from. Best flathead brush ever. I wish I could tell you where I got it from, but I have no clue. I think I got it from like a kid's makeup kit. And then angled, like what's it called? What is this brush called? Definer brush, I guess. I have this from the Rare Beauty kit. And then one of these bad boys right here, a spatula looking like thingy. It has a spatula on the end. You don't have to have this, but it's really helpful. And then it has a spoolie. Let's begin. To begin, I curve mine. It comes straight. I curve mine just so I can have the angle. So to begin, I get a little bit of it on my eyebrow, my little brow brush thingy, and then I start to brush my eyebrows upwards. You will also need a fan. As you can see, my eyebrow is already becoming red. That's why I say the soap brow one is a little bit better. It helps a little more with the irritants, but oh well, you know, like this gets better, the work done a little bit better, whether you're looking for that complete look slick back or if you're just looking for like a regular like small thing like mine. I already like how mine is already looking, so I'm not gonna add too much more, but then I'm gonna do the other side. So as you may know, my eyebrows are cousins and not sisters. Actually, they might be non-related cousins, low-key. I'm not even gonna hold you, but because my eyebrows are weird like that, unfortunately, I wasn't born God's favorite. Because my eyebrows are weird like that, I'll go against the grain. I'm gonna slick them down. I'm gonna try and slick this down a little bit similar to this one as much as I can, but I'm just gonna go against the grain when I start to like define it and all that extra stuff. To the point where I feel like this is as good as it's gonna get, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take the spatula side of this and my fan, and I'm gonna turn my fan on to full max, and I'm gonna go ahead and start slicking it down. Because what happens is, if you don't slick it down, like with something, at least you could even use this, if you don't slick it down with something, the gel, it starts to lift up, and it get like after like a few hours, it doesn't give the it doesn't keep this slick down effect. So I'm gonna turn that on, and this doesn't really ruin the shape unless you are like completely going like against the grain completely. I'm just gonna keep at this until I feel like my eyebrows are dry and like the product isn't really there anymore. And so when I feel like they're like completely dry, I think it's imperative that you wait till they're completely dry. I don't know if they're ever dry or not, but anyways, when I feel like it's completely dry is when I'm gonna take my tamed brush thingy, and I'm gonna go ahead and this is the brow pomade and my angled brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and start picking up a little bit of that product. I'm gonna start going in, and I'm just gonna try and follow as much as I can the curvature. I'm not gonna start off here. This area doesn't really need much product because that's where you get that little natural looking finish at, but I'm gonna start off more towards the end of my eyebrows. I want to start off with this eyebrow first, and then I'll be back and I'll just like talk about this eyebrow. Okay. Ignore that side of my face. I have a harder time with this eyebrow than I ever do with this eyebrow, because it's clear like this one's already like, she's built to perfection, she's shaped up, she knows where she's going, she knows what she's doing. But this one, she rocks to the beat of her own drum, you know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and we're just gonna start. Like like I said before, we're only gonna be working like towards the end with the brow pomade. We're never really gonna be working towards the front with it. And get a good dollop of it, not gonna lie, but you know, like just go in and follow like the shape of your eyebrow up until you get to that middle like ending. But the only time you should be touching the front is if it's for this bottom area, and that's when you kind of like, you know, you surface it out a little bit. Right around now is when I'll like change the arch of this one a little bit just so it can match the other one's arch. But if your eyebrows are already symmetrical, you don't even have to worry about this part. I'm gonna go in with concealer now using my flathead brush, but it's better if you use a concealer that is a little bit lighter than your tone on the under part, and then on the top part you use a concealer that's a little bit like more of your skin tone. But if you don't want to, that's okay too. I'm just gonna use a concealer that's more my skin tone. We just got pissed off like 4 different times in this span of like 2 minutes in this video. Anyways, let's just get to the concealer. We're just gonna work underneath the eye with the concealer. This is where any imperfections like this don't really matter because the concealer's gonna cover it all up. Fantastic. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna, you know, we're gonna put more of the concealer towards the end over here, and then we're gonna work it a little bit towards the front of our eye. Then we're gonna clean it up on the side right here. I'm gonna add, yeah, I fucked up a little bit, but anyways, so now we're at this part of the video. I forgot to mention you also need one of these brushes. I like to wet it with some setting spray. Yeah, but as you can see, like my eyebrows seem a little bit more symmetrical now because I of course went against the grain. Like there's hairs that are covered up with the concealer. Just start off by blending over here and then blending it in like more or so towards my eyelids over there, I guess. So for like the end, I'll just drag it out like here, this way. For the top half, I tap it. This is where like I'll go in, and if I have to, then I'll just like fix any imperfections with the pencil. That's my eyebrow tutorial. I would like to say, like, I feel like it looks good. Anyways.